G'day you beautiful people, welcome back. Today we're taking another look at a guide for a boss, or two bosses today, because we are looking at Ceres. So on Ceres we're going to be fighting Captain Vor and Lieutenant Lech Kril. So we'll pop the stats up on the screen. As you can see, they both actually have the exact same stats. On the left is Captain Vor, on the right is Lech Kril. So we'll just look at the one, because they are both exactly the same. They do, though, have different amounts of health. Okay, so Captain Vor has less health, a bigger shield, and more armor. But Lech Kril has way more health. He has a smaller shield and a little bit less armor. But it's not really going to matter, because we're going to kit out the same way. So what we're going to do is, because we can get more damage on their cloned flesh with viral, and there is no negative for viral on alloy armor, we're going to try to spec sort of towards that, or towards radiation would probably be the best bet. The only negative for radiation, as you can see, is for their shield. So if we go in with either radiation or viral, we will do more damage against their armor and their flesh respectively. And the only negative we will have is against their shields for radiation. So we don't really care about that. Today we're going to take Rhino in. I think at the point where we're at now, everyone should have farmed Rhino. You get your Rhino by farming Fossa, the Jackal boss. So you should have that by now. Now you don't really need to have anything special. I'm just running a little bit less duration and 180% strength, so I've just upped my strength a little bit. And I recommend that you go in with a shotgun. Now, I know that you, if you are quickly making your way through the star chart, you're not going to have access to a Tigris Prime or anything like that, but you should be able to have access, like I mentioned before, to something like the Heck, which is something that you should definitely consider going for, which we're going to change the color of, because you don't want to be running around with a black and white Warframe and a pink shotgun. I also have my Dex Furious on and something I'm ranking up, but we're not going to be using that. So what we're looking to do is probably go for radiation damage or viral damage. So viral is a mixture of cold and toxin, and radiation, I do not remember off the top of my head. Radiation is, my gosh, there we go. Radiation is heat and electricity, that's right. Okay, so I can't, I'm not going to put 60 points of mods on here, because I'm going to expect that, you don't have that many. So we're not going to use like a maxed out Hell's Chamber or anything like that. All we're going to do is we're going to go for, say if we were going to go for radiation damage, that would mean that we would be going for electricity and heat. These aren't too expensive to rank up. They're only 5 level mods. So you can get them ranked up quite easily, as well as your point blank. If you've got these, you should easily be able to rank them up, so I will use them. But that's taken us, that's 31 points onto this build. So that's pretty much all we can do. So our options are either to go for the radiation or to go for the viral. I think we'll just go for radiation on this. It's not going to get a negative on the clone flesh, and it will actually help against the alloy armor. So this is what we're going to go for. We're just going to be using the Heck. I am going to take my Dex Furious, and I am going to use it, but I'm not going to be using it against those two. Okay, so we'll go and load in, and we'll take a look at the fight itself. Pretty easy, but it is a combination of the two fights, so you can understand if it's a little bit more difficult than each fight individually. So we have Exter on Ceres, which is Lieutenant Lech Kril and Captain Vor. We're going to put it on to solo. Oh, and we're going to not back out of Ceres because we want to go into the actual match. Now when it comes to mods and drops and stuff, you're going to get the same mods that you get for killing each boss, or what you can get for killing each boss. So that's going to be Quick Draw, Slip Mag, Vitality, Gunslinger, Heated Charge, and Intensify, from Vor, and from Lech Kril, Cryo Rounds, Killing Blow, Molten Impact, Stretch, and Energy Channel. Okay, there's some good stuff in there. Apart from that, you're going to have the sigils they can drop for both Vor and Lech Kril, the chance at Orokin cells, or whatever else is a rare material on that planet. You also have the chance of getting the Twin Gremlins blueprint, and the blueprint and all the parts for the Mitre. The Twin Gremlins is like most blueprints out there. You just get the blueprint and you use the materials that it asks you for to build it, whereas the Mitre, you actually have to collect each part. It's kind of like a Warframe in that way. So you need to farm them until you get the blueprint, the barrel, the blade, the handle, and the chassis. So it can take quite a while to actually get it. So while we're using Rhino, all we're really going to do is just use his iron armor, and that's about it. This is not going to be too difficult whatsoever. We're just going to make our way to the boss fight. We will have to deal with some adds. They will be on top of a platform when we're fighting them, and the adds will make their way up there. So a lot of the time you're not, you're not going to really notice them coming up because you're going to be too busy. So that's why I like to suggest that you take Rhino in. It's just going to make your life a lot easier, because if you do start to get shot in the back, you don't have to worry about it because you already have your armor up. So we're a little ways away. If you weren't going to use a shotgun, any sort of decent assault rifle, if you have some form of assault rifle or shotgun that you've put an Orokin reactor on, Orokin catalyst rather, you'll get those Orokin cells, and you have 60 points to spend, or you format it, or it's really strong, definitely go for that. It's going to be better. So they're the boys. So what I tend to do is deal with Captain Vor first. Obviously we're not doing great amounts of damage, and we are going to get frozen a little bit here, so just try to keep either keep completely mobile or stop, try to not let Kril get too much of a shot on you. So we have to deal with these guys, so let's just quickly deal with some of these guys, get them out of the way, and just continue to beat down on Captain Vor until he becomes invulnerable, because you have to deal damage in stages to him. So now he should be vulnerable again. Just take that guy out. Obviously it's a bit of a hassle to take out his shield, so just keep notice of your armor, because he is going to deal quite a lot of damage to you. Yeah, just keep an eye in the bottom right hand corner for the number above your armor, and just make sure that you're ready to put it back on. Like right now I can stand there and not worry about it because I'm checking what my armor's at. It's still at 58%, so we're fine. And then as per usual, just sort of slide past Lech Kril so that you get a shot on his backpack. Alright, once you get that to turn yellow, which it actually is, so he should be ready to slam. Like right now, and then you can do the damage to his backpack. So it's just exactly the same as the last fight, it's just that you've got a different place. Probably more adds to deal with than the standard Captain Vor fight. But as far as Lech Kril goes, it's not too much different to what you're actually used to. So right now we're on 2 armor, so we're just going to be ready for him to take that off. And then just keep sliding past him while it's blue, get a shot on it, turn it orange. It takes a couple of seconds for it to kind of register, and now he'll do the slam when we're close. And just keep rinse repeating until he turns into his fire form. Just the same as the normal fight, so we're not doing damage there. And now he should slam. And hopefully he's ready to go. Yeah, he's going to turn into his fire form. And you can easily smash him. So that's just a shotgun with 31 points spent onto the weapon. So you could easily, with your maxed out point blank, maxed out incendiary rounds, and what's there? And a one-off electricity, easily do just as much damage as that. It'll only be a tiny little bit less. But like I said, if you have a weapon that has an Orokin catalyst on it at this stage, so if you've done up a weapon that you really like and it does a lot of damage, definitely use that. You don't have to worry about using the Heck. I just recommend that something like the Heck, because it's a decent shotgun for the start. You can do quite a lot with it in the earlier stages of the game, and you can mod it and former it so that it can be quite a powerhouse. Obviously there's different and potentially better variants of it with the Vacor Heck, but yeah, the standard Heck will do you just fine. So right here we should have the mods that we got, and we got the Twin Gremlins blueprint as well as Frost Mirror Optics, because this is where you farm Frost. So like I said, you have the chance to get the mods that the two bosses can drop. You have the Orokin cells, the sigils as well. And then that's the Twin Gremlins blueprint. So that's one of the things down. Each time you do actually complete this fight, you will get a Frost part. And then you'll either get a Twin Gremlins blueprint, a Mitre blueprint, a Mitre barrel, blade, handle, chassis. So there's those 6 pieces that you can get as far as weapons go, and then there's the 3 parts of Frost. So it can be a bit of a bugger to farm. It's nowhere near as bad as farming Equinox, but you know, to get all the parts for the Mitre, and the Mitre is actually used to make another gun as well, the Panthera, I believe it is. So you potentially need to farm too. So this might be something you need to do quite a lot of. Now, if you end up in the situation where you know, you're doing Endgame, I still would just take someone like, if I was doing it solo, someone like Rhino, just so that I can take an absolute beating. Worst comes to worst, if there's a lot of ads, I can use my Stomp to incapacitate those guys for a while. And what I would do is I would actually swap out my Heck for something really hard hitting. Maybe you've got an Archiplasma with a few formers in it that hits pretty hard, something like the Corinth. But my go-to generally is just the Tigress Prime, because you can just get so much damage off of it. So I have a Corrosive and Blast build on it at the moment, which I probably would switch for that, and I would use my Dex Furus along with it, because this thing currently has 93.1% status chance. I do have a Riven on it, but it's only a zoom and damage Riven at the moment, so it does hit really, really hard, and it's only at 93% status chance. I'm hoping to get damage multi-shot and status chance on this, and then I should be able to ditch these for actual elemental mods instead of dual stat mods, and then I should still be able to get 100% status chance while gaining even more damage. So that's what I use to sort of strip their the boss's armor. I've recently been using this and the Tigress on a later boss fight in the game, and it works really well. It strips armor so easily. So that's kind of my suggestion for the later stages. Obviously, you might have a melee weapon to deal with the ads. Something like the Dex Furus, if you have it, can easily be set up to be disgusting with corrosive procs to strip their armor, and Tigress is just going to do devastating amounts of damage really easily. And considering that you only have a short window on Lech Kril to do damage while he's in his ice form, and you want to get Vor dealt with as soon as possible, why not just pack all that into a single double hit? So I think we covered everything. I hope that was helpful for you guys. If it was, smash the like button, leave me a comment if I've forgotten anything whatsoever, if you just want to say hello, and subscribe if you're not already. With that said, thank you so much for watching. I love your face, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.